Well, hello fellow gamers, this is JC from the Real and Simulated Wars blog. We are here today with Desert War 1940-1942, a new war game coming directly from the BK Games studio, which is kind of new. I know that they have something out already, but I believe it was for mobile platforms. I really don't know, don't quote me on this, but to make it simple, this is a new war game that is going to be released on March 22nd. It's going to come published by Matrix Slitherine, and this is a brainchild of Brian Kelly and John Duquette. And you will see John Duquette, which is quite known in the wargaming world. A lot of the scenarios are authored by him. So this game is an operational grand tactical level type of game. It's turn-based. It's a WeGo with simultaneous turn resolution, and it was entirely created in Java. Wow! So I am showing you here just the briefing. It has a description of the scenario. I'm playing as the Axis, as the Italianos in here with the Ariete division. So this is a tough scenario if you're Italian, because you have the desert rats coming directly straight to Bir el Gubi. So let's take a look at the map. You see here, it is, of course, this game is based in axes. I believe that the size of each axis is 2 miles wide, or 2 miles wide. I don't recall, I apologize for that, but something of that sort. The majority of the units are battalion sized. You have some companies and platoons, like these reconnaissance types of units, and there is a very nice mix of these two types of assets. So this is how it looks like. People, you know, may find a bit funny how the map scrolls and some other stuff, but I'm not going to complain about that because this is just a beta. Please keep in mind, keep your, you know, complaints and comments in taking that into account, because this is not a finalized product. So with that, in that spirit, let's war game some. So one thing from the start that is really very good, it is the deployment phase. During the deployment phase, you're able to change the starting position of the different assets that you have at your disposal, and that's a very cool thing, because in so many war games you're just, you know, deployment zones are like fixed, and you're supposed to be, you know, just taking them, and sometimes you don't like that. You have the different type of operation in mind. So take into account that you can see there that in this case there are 3 types of deployment areas. One, it is the purple, the red, and the green. You cannot put this unit, which is in the purple, you cannot deploy it into the green area. It's going to automatically bounce back. And however, you can deploy whatever you want, as I already did with that one over there. I'm going to put this motorcycle reconnaissance platoon up there. We're going to have these tanks over here, which are platoons of M14s, I do believe. And we're going to be, my intention is to have some reconnaissance to be done down and below over there, and conducted mainly in the southeast and the south direction. So another thing to notice here, it is that many of the units are fixed, like, you know, the 8th Bersaglieri regiment. It has all these units around Bir el Gubi completely fixed. So that is to it's a bit of liberty for the scenario designer to just, simulate some sort of shock or, some sort of disorganization that happens when you receive a surprise attack. So this is just a setup phase, and we're going to click. When you're done, you just click proceed to the next phase, and this is where it starts. So let's start moving forces around. One thing that I want to keep, it is to have these 3 platoons of tanks. They're kind of in a nice initial position, blocking, the west approach, the southwest, the east approach, the southeast approach, and this completely south approach right here. So we're going to leave them over there, and we're going to be moving our motorcycle units to positions where they kind of serve the enemy. So the first thing that I want to move, it is this one, this platoon of motorcycles. I'm going to have them move to this position over there. And to move, you have 3 options. I don't know if you can follow my cursor over here. You have in the top left corner, you have 3 types of movement: move and attack. That is, if the unit finds anything during this move, just to attack it, if the odds are correct. Then you have move and defend, which means move, but if you find any type of opposition, just switch to an immediate defense stance. And then move on road, which is, as described over there, just move using the road type of movement. So what I'm going to do for these reconnaissance units, the motorcycle based ones, I'm going to leave them and move and defend. And as you click, you will see that the excess that this unit can reach, based on their movement factor, which is that 9 over there, they're going to be highlighted. I'm going to move them right over there. So this one, I'm going to connotier up to this road junction, and this one, I don't want to put them too far away. I'm going to reconnoitre up to there. This one, we're going to reconnaissance, to produce a reconnaissance somewhere over there. So that's a perfect violation of the reconnaissance rules. Never use the roads to do that. I know. We're just, as I said, we're just playing around. So as you can see, the icons have moved, but this doesn't represent actual movement. This is actually an order. This is a place where the units are going to be, or they're going to be aiming towards or moving towards when the turn resolution happens. So if that is confusing, you can use several options, like, clicking on this button. You can see sequentially, you can see where they are right now and where they will be according to the plan. It's just a plan. A lot of things can happen. Remember that this is a we go game, so just be aware that whatever you order them may not come into fruition. A lot of things can happen. So if you decide to leave them like I prefer, like this, you will see every time you click on them where they're coming from and what's their final destination. And if you decide to use this one, well, you will be shown, every time you hover your cursor over them, you will be shown the actual path, or the actual the intended path that they do have. One important thing for reconnaissance units is that they tend to withdraw decently very, very well. And however, what I do prefer to do, let me go back to my preferred stance over there. What I do prefer to do, it is to change they are so-called orders on what to do if they're attacked. That can be seen in this top right corner over there. You can toggle these to different options: defend, normal defense, defend to the last man, or defend and withdraw. I prefer to have my units in that way, and the reason why I prefer that, it is because, you know, these are reconnaissance units. They're not supposed to be doing a lot of fighting, so I'm gonna give them this order. And just to review all the orders that you have for your different assets, you can press the hotkey Shift O, and you see over there how I changed that one to withdraw, this one in the very bottom, and I still have to change that one over there to withdraw. I'm having some issues here. Take this out, and I want to change this stance. Change the stance over there, and Shift O to verify that that actually happened. You see these icons, they are merely a representation of orders. They are not directional. It doesn't mean that the unit is going to withdraw to the east necessarily. It's just an icon. No need to take that more seriously than what actually is. So I'm going to change this one also to withdraw, because they're just platoons of tanks. And withdraw. And there we go. All our security screen, which is not security, it's just reconnaissance or some sort of observation posts that I'm putting along the way, they're into a withdraw type of posture in case they have to defend. So again, the hotkey for that is Shift O. And pretty much that's all I have right now, because all my other units are kind of in the fixed, so there's not too much that I can do. Another important part of this wargame that is very, very interesting and very nicely done, it is about supply. So you can see over here that this is the parent unit, which is the Ariete division, and you can put it into different postures regarding how much extra supply is this unit giving to his subordinates units. So since problems are coming ahead, so let's just give them combat. Let's put this one is already in combat over there, combat, and you can verify all the way that combat and change. The armored regiment over there, we're going to give it some extra supplies for combat. We're going to give some extra supplies for combat, this one, and this one is already taken care of. So I'm going to verify just in case. So if you do it again, you will see that all the stances have been changed to receive extra assets or supplies for combat. This is the usual. That 20 over there means the ammo and the fuel for the other icon, so you can inspect every single unit according to their subordination to the different types. So right click is gonna show you the information pane, and this is something very nice about this interface. Well, you see a ton of information there, but once you hover into each section, you will see this sort of detail, not detail necessarily, not manual level, but there is a lot of information that you can see from there. And you see that the unit is supported by the headquarters. You see that it's dug in. You see the shock value of this unit. You see how much intelligence can gather, and the intelligence range that it can gather. So pretty cool interface over there. And of course you have the regular attack, defend, and movement allowances for each unit. And that heart over there is a readiness level, and that fist is the strength that the unit actually has. So one thing that is, I think that is kind of sometimes a bit cumbersome to figure it out, but once you get it, it's not too much of a trouble. It is the way that you navigate the stacks. Like for instance, in this X, we have 4 units. We have an anti-tank battalion, we have an artillery battalion, we have the Bersaglieri company, and we have an anti-aircraft unit over there. So to move them around, you can press C and they will cycle. So you can put the one that you need on the top. I prefer to have, my maneuver units on top usually, or my headquarters units on top. But that's just a matter of preference over there. And another thing that I forgot to mention it is that, of course, this game has zoom levels. And, the maximum zoom is very nice for tired eyes like mine. And of course you can change also your NATO symbology by using the N hotkey. There we go. Everybody's kind of describe it like that. I usually prefer to have these little, non-NATO representations just because. And all units have been given their assignments. So there is one thing that I want to show you too, which is ground assets. So ground assets are different types of special assets that the headquarters units can give to their subordinates. Like for instance here, they come in 3 flavors, just to be comprehensive. In the lower left, right there where my cursor is, you have intel types, which we don't have unfortunately, command and special forces. We just have the command one, and these are special things that you can give to these units. And we're going to give, I don't know, to this unit we're going to allocate these defense extra assets. Not just to show you, because right now it's very unlikely that any British unit is gonna get and directly assault them, because I don't believe that they will have, the movement points to move us right to that position over there. But nonetheless, it's a cool feature, and I will show you more of that in later videos. There is one feature that you use for attacks, which really can increase the odds of your attack or your assault being really successful. So let's press the next phase. There is this warning, proceed to next turn. Yes. So now it's resolving the turn, and then you are presented with this lower control key keyboard over there with the play, back 1 frame or whatever. And it's pretty much like other WeGo systems, but it's very nice that you can rewind the tape and look at your action in a more comprehensive way. Another additional very nice feature it is that you can increase and decrease the type of speed that you are getting in this phase. So let's go. Let's start it. Time is rolling out, and there we go. There is a lot of maneuver going on over there. Let's review it again. So let's move that, and I'm going to be advancing this frame to frame. So it could be really cool that the clock over there would move. I don't know if that's planned or not. It's still okay because, you know, at the end of the turn we're going to advance the clock. But it could be great that, you know, 6:30 or something like that, this thing happened. Just saying. So you see that the British are moving in good order, having their reconnaissance assets moving forward. Then we spot apparently our first appears to be a mechanized unit. What is this? A platoon. So there is fog of war, and one of the features that this engine has too, it is that it can intercept or directionally find the different headquarters units that you have around. So that's very, very cool. So let's move one ahead, closing in. The enemy is closing in. And then we see more maneuver units. We have spotted here a Crusader battalion, tank battalion. So the enemy is really piling up on us. Ah, look at that. Let me rewind this. Focus right there. You see that motorcycle unit? So these guys actually, you can see, let's rewind, as the British closed in, it just retreated. I love that. I love that. I hate, you know, when my reconnaissance units get pummeled just because they are in the way and you're not in control of them and they cannot do anything. So that type of SOP and the type of reconnaissance that they can do, because they have a, you know, a greater intelligence gathering capability, which means that they can spot units way before any other regular unit. I really like it. So, wow, they retreated quite a bit. And now, yeah, having reviewed all my turn, I'm going to be saying yes to this. So now all my units around Bir el Gubi are completely unfixed, which is great. This is a headquartered unit. And I wanted to mention too that for this war game, it is very important to have your headquarters units within range of command. Sorry, the subordinates need to be within range, command range of the headquartered units. It's very, very important. And there is a hotkey for that, which is the H, which will show you the parent unit. If you hover on top of the headquartered unit, it will show you the organization of it. Of course, this one that I am highlighting right there, which is the 132 Armored Regiment. It is under the command, of course, of the division. And all the green lines coming down reflect the subordinate units. Like all these tanks and anti-tank or anti-air or AAA units are under the command of this. And these green lines reflect that the unit is actually in control or within command of the headquarters. So everything appears to be under command right now. There is another hotkey that you can use, which is a R. We will show you the command range, which is in green for OK, within range. Yellow for extended range with some degradation of the command capabilities. And non-highlighted, of course, are places where the unit is not under command. All right, so I want to take out the H hotkey, and it is time to give some orders around. First, I want to make sure that the reconnaissance screen, it's not a screen because I don't mean to screen too much. I don't have the strength with these tank units or motorcycle units, so no way. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody is withdrawing after certain if they become under pressure. So let's change that. For this guy over here, I'm going to change it to withdraw. For this guy over here, I'm going to change to withdraw. For this guy over here, I'm going to change to withdraw. So all of these units are now kind of under command. They're unfixed, ready to combat. I wanted to show you that icon over there, I don't know if you can see it where I have my cursor, means that the unit is dug in. So all these units around the Biril Gubi are completely dug in, which is a good thing because the Italians, for some reason, are not very good at maneuvering, which is another thing that I really like about this game, that the command structure tends to degrade quite easily. I still have to conduct some testing using a scenario editor, which is another great thing about this game, that having a full-fledged scenario editor. I need to check that. So for the time being, seems like we have apparently two different units, brigades apparently, just because of the strength that they have. I'm hovering over each one of them. We have some armor coming from the east, and we have some infantry plus minus change support coming from the south. These units right there, apparently they are just reconnaissance, just because of the strength of this tank platoon and these armored cars reconnaissance unit. So what I'm going to do right now is show some movement. So I'm going to be using as a mode of movement, move and attack. So I'm going to move these guys, and I'm going to deploy them right there. Well, why you cannot? Okay, anyway. So I'm going to move another battalion here. And oh, this one ran out of movement points, that's why. So I have 3 battalions. I want to form a line over there. Headquarters unit right up there. And I do believe that these guys already have accomplished their mission, so let's bring them back into safety. You know what? I'm gonna change these. Even I have to clarify something, that you know, these reconnaissance units, they have their own rules for engaging or not engaging, which is very well executed for WeGo games. You know, in WeGo games, you are not in control for the duration of the turn, so a lot of things can happen. So having the units to have their own SOPs, it is the way to go. And this thing is very well done for this game engine. Change to withdraw in case they run into any trouble. And I have this other armored regiment, 3 battalions, still fixed. And I do have these pioneers, which I would like to move into Biril Gubi. And I'm gonna be moving them because they pose certain advantages for attacking and defending. And speaking of support units, we have air support units, we have naval support, mainly naval fire, of course, and the ground assets that I mentioned already. So what I'm gonna do, I have right now a recon mission that I can use, and I have an attack mission that I can use, and I have no transports. So the recon mission, I'm going to put it right there. And the attack mission, even with these Italian biplanes, I want to put it into some, put them right there to produce and attack. And you can change these to counter air, interdiction, or just attack. Where did my attack go? I don't know. Put an airstrike. There we go. I just clicked it again, and you have an airstrike. And then, of course, we need to start thinking about producing some indirect, getting some indirect fire on these assaulting units, because they're coming heavy on us. So we have this RT. The way to place artillery fire on them, on the enemy units, it is to press. This is what I do. I don't know if it is the right way. I press the R key. The unit selected. It's not working. Try with this one. That's weird. Maybe we can use it later. Apologize for that. I thought I had it. Now I cannot see to nail it. Anyway, we'll keep that in mind. So that's all we have for this turn. So let's progress one turn. I'm going to press yes, turn resolution, and then we have the tape. So let's go frame by frame to see what happens. And by the way, the clock just changed to 12 o'clock. So the turn duration is 6 hours. It's quite a lot. So keep that in mind, because some movements may look like a bit crazy, but well, you know, you have 6 hours to accomplish them. So let's see what happens. That's our air attack. There is no any indication in the interface, or maybe I'm missing it, of what actually happened, or how many casualties were held. Of course, the fog of war, it is underplay, but at least I don't know if I suffered any losses. So, oh, there we go. So this is the attack. The odds were horrible, and I don't know how did it go. But for you to understand these icons, which are a bit, sometimes a bit difficult to understand, for red means Axis. Like here, the Axis has attacked. And when they're blue, is for the Allies. Means, you know, the Allies have attacked or produces something. So did you see that? So these guys are maneuvering north, and I'm back and forth, back, forth. These ones already retreated a little bit more, which is lovely, but they are now isolated. Still not showing here, but you bet it's gonna have some issues. So, wow, look at that enveloping maneuver that the British had pulled on us, all the way on top over there, using some tanks, tank battalion, And we have two companies of infantry. Sorry, one company of infantry, one sapper company, and still our tanks over here are not moving. So, whoa. Forward. That's a meeting engagement over there. So the odds were terribly, terribly wrong for us. You see it over there. We had likely lost this unit. Yeah, indeed. We lost the freaking battalion. Isn't that it? The odds were 1 to 12. Really kind of bad. And we had another meeting engagement over there. Incurred some losses and put some losses into the British. And one thing that I observed of this engine, I'm zooming in right now, it is that sometimes, you know, when a maneuver for the enemy, which is usually very decent, like the reconnaissance units pull first, then come the maneuver units, and followed by the support units. But sometimes when some maneuver gets derailed, it's kind of like the support units, like this indirect support unit has just continued moving over there. And I observed this a couple of times. Yeah, I thought that may need correction, or I don't know, maybe it's part of, for the friction of war or whatever. Oh my god, there is a lot of meeting engagements over there, and the British are kind of pulling some arty into us. And that's it. That's how the turn ends. I was not expecting that. It's now 1-800, and we have the British really kicking our chops over here. We still have this armored regiment right there. Fix it. And this one has already suffered some losses. This one on top, 68% of its original strength. And the other one, well, that was just a fire support unit. And right here we have, these guys have retreated or didn't advance at all. I don't know. So it's looking pretty interesting right now. And I don't know what to do, to be honest. In the south, meanwhile, we have wow, we have some infantry coming in, and infantry plus change, and we have the odd artillery regiment over there coming out of nowhere. So okay, I'm going to need a break to figure out how to attack. Hold there, coming back in a sec. Okay, I'm back. The British are really pushing really very hard from the east. So it looks like we have 2 tank battalions right there. And our most direct, our troops in contact here, it is a depleted battalion which has suffered, some 42% losses already. It is in no shape to do combat. So this other unit is also depleted. So they have been mauled. So let's just move them out of the way. I'm gonna just to produce some sort of force preservation here. So what I'm gonna directly move them back into our lines. Move the headquarters unit down there, And there is no possibility to counterattack, to be honest. These guys have around, I don't know, the strength that they have according to this thing. You have a 15, 15, and unknown. I suppose it's going to be another 15. So you have like a 45 factor. So we have nothing to come against these guys. So we're going to have to hold it and wait for these guys to wake up right there, for this armored regiment, the 32nd. And we'll have just to wait until they get them fixed and they counterattack. So I cannot do anything. However, what I can do is to use some artillery to wear them down and use some air interdiction to attack them. So let's go with that first. I'm going to be using attacks only. I'm not interested in recon. I already see what's going on here. So I'm going to put attack mission. Of course, the odds are horrible. And I'm going to put another attack mission over there. The odds have improved a little bit. And what else? Let's reshuffle this guy. Yeah, I cannot go into the offensive with the odds that I do have. So we just have to wait until they assault us and wait for this regiment right there to come and help us somehow. So anyway, as a ground asset, what I'm going to be using for command, it is assigning some extra assets by using that button over there to the defense right here, because I'm sure I'm going to get pummeled there. You see down there in the bottom, you have one command ground asset, which will help our unit for the defense. And it's kind of sad that we have to, what we intended as an offensive maneuver, we're retreating and putting our tanks on that posture over there. But that's all we have. Oh, by the way, the ground asset button turns green when you don't have anything else. This is a good indicator. This one, we still have some, but I'm not going to use them because, this recon here, let's use it. Put it right there to keep an eye on this. And it turns green too when you're done. And, exit. And let's use some arty. Let me show you how you use artillery in this game. So I hover over the artillery unit. And I press R. And this green region highlighted, it is a range. So we just have to click. And these icons do appear. Like this red icon means firing. And you have that explosion over there indicating that that's the target of this fire mission. And we have another unit up here. By the way, this shuffling over the stack is done with hotkey C. So put it on top, press R. Oh, sorry. And let's put that over there. And there is another RT unit right here. Press R. This one is actually out of range. Yeah, just by an X. But we can use this one against that one over there. And next phase. Let's move it. And we are left with this. I'm going to be doing it run first completely. Then we're going to do it, frame by frame analysis. This is like the action review phase in combat mission They call it the film phase for this game. So the tape is rolling now. So they attacked us. You see that in green over. Sorry. Whoa, they're really pushing it. All right, sir. Let's review this. I rewinded it completely, and I want to see what's going on. That was an air attack by the British. Remember, if the attack symbol is blue, means allies. If it is red, means Axis. This is our attack. We received some losses. And we produced some losses. Cool. This is an RT mission. Were some losses, I suppose. Well, I don't know. Frame. Well, what was that? Oh, they moved it out. It was still this artillery mission. And look at these British units. How they move it right into the attack. Then we have our own artillery missions, which are a combo. Although this is an airstrike, I'm sorry. These guys attacking us already. Wow. So again, this is completely, you can rewind it and use it as you want, which is awesome for a WeGo game. And when you have more complex scenarios, you can basically go and at your leisure, go and watch different places of the battlefield. So that was awesome. Take a look at this guy over here. So this was our, battalion that was pummeled, and he couldn't disengage. He didn't move at all. So staying there. Hopefully it was not attacked, which is good news. But gee, it was just like he's in a bad position right now. So to continue this, what I'm going to do, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so I don't induce some nausea on you guys. I hate when in videos are zooming in and zooming out so rapidly. So good news, it is that our 32 Armored Regiment, it is released. It was about time, dude. So with a new day, it's now 6 o'clock. We're going to move these guys and counterattack the British. They kind of splitted forces over there, and they kept their tanks right in check over there. It's great because I have tanks too to move on. So I'm gonna move them. I'm gonna move these pioneers right there. And let's continue with our recon. part has me really very worried. The south. Placed it right there. And I need as much as the attack I can get. So I'm gonna be attacking. What should I do? This one here, I don't know these biplanes, what they can do. So I'm gonna probably tax them right there. And the second one, it is some BF 109s, which I'm going to task them right here. And these one are Stukas, so I'm gonna my Stukas against the armor right there. Pretty cool. So now, I'm continuously forgetting to get my troops extra supplies for combat. So I need to keep reminding myself every single time to get extra combat supply for everybody. That's my own fault. It's not that I was not warned against that. I'm gonna keep these guys into their position. And what else needs to be done? Oh, ground assets. Right here. So I don't have intel or special forces assets available. I only have some command extra assets that I can give to my units. And in this case, I'm going to give it to... They're all dug in, which is cool. I want to give it to the less blessed guys right there. This means that by the means of being within their headquarters range, they receive extra assets that in this case will help them to in their defense. This can be done, this assignment of extra assets can be done also for the offense, which is very cool. But unfortunately I just picked in a scenario where I'm forced down into my knees because this attack is so overwhelming. So let's move the tape. And yes, we want to go turn resolution. Now we have the tape. Once again, we're going to just let it roll just for brevity. Let's review. Frame by frame. Tower attack. Some losses into the British. Their attack. Currently. Nothing happened. That's their attack. Wow, there is an artillery. That's nice. We suffered some losses too. It's our attack. Our attack. Nice airstrikes. Well, what the hell was that? Because they kind of move it out. Oh, wait a second. That was their attack. They attacked this. Oh my god, I thought that my airstrike was that. Actually not. Let's move it back a little bit. Forward. Not the thing that I want to show. That attack over there just took care of my tank platoon. Such a pity. Yeah, should have moved them down to the north to the friendly lines already. And that's basically it. I'm just moving the tape forward. Look at the maneuver right there from the British. These are unidentified units. And that's pretty much it. As you can see, we're in a predicament here. The odds are really against us. And, well, this is a tough scenario for the Italians. And what I'm going to do right here is just to stop it and maybe complete. Maybe I can complete this as an after action report later on. I just want to be brief because I hate long videos. And I hope that I show with you the main features of this game. There are bigger scenarios. There is a scenario editor, so you can do whatever you want. You can create your own scenarios using different tables of organization, etc., etc. I do believe that it works very, very nice. I like the features. Looks like everything was very well thought. I like how the game flows. Things that I would like, it is a bit more in the animation department. I think that the counters tend to, appear and disappear, which is sometimes okay, based on the fog of war, but even for the own units, sometimes it feels like a bit blocky moving around. I do believe that in the art department it's very functional, very pleasing to the eyes, has this old school grognard type of look, which is great. And the WeGo system really works marvels. Makes gameplay so interesting because it's, so many things can happen, and you're not 100% in control of your troops, which is great for a turn-based game. I also do believe that, the ground assets feature actually puts some very nice touches into each scenario, like which sometimes you can equate it to some sort of doctrine or something like that, like points of main effort, etc., etc. And the scenario author can fine-tune those ground assets to reflect, different command capabilities or not international, but different countries' doctrines, which is very, very good. So that's it for today. I'm going to save this, and please post your comments and let me know if you want to have this after action. Well, this was not an after action report. I didn't intend it as such, but I'm so interested in knowing what the hell is going to be of my Italians here. So if you're interested in seeing that, just let me know. Post a comment, like, subscribe, and if you're not, I will just play it for myself. So thanks again to Matrix for providing this early version of the beta, and remember to be kind. This is just a beta version, and the game is not complete yet.